Yo ho ho, welcome back aboard. Aaron back with more watches, birds, and loot. And as always, we like to start off with a wrist check. No, we don't. We do bird checks here. Because again, this is actually a wet bird check. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's just got a bath. Do you have a nice bath, Kai? That's River and Kai, a couple of different types of green cheek conures. Two different types. And where else are you going to see that on a watch channel? Come on. Hit that subscribe button. You're going to see birds, like live birds and watches. God, that is nuts. But hey, we're not here to talk about birds. Yeah, actually we are. We're actually here to talk about birds. But we're going to talk about watches and the OBLVLO. I'm going full French. OBLVLO. Some people will say OBLVLO. Some people say OBLVLO. Oh, I've heard one guy OBLVLO. He didn't even try to attempt it. But my daughter speaks French, and I told her this is a French. See right there, Conception de Français. And so she said, "Hey, that's OBLVLO." So look at that, guys. You even get French-speaking, total French, fake French guy here. And here it is. Now this one, another AliExpress purchase, but you do not need to buy these on AliExpresses. These can be purchased. What is it? These can be purchased anywhere. There's a lot of websites out there with this brand on there. I think they're even on Amazon too. So, interesting, very interesting brand. And when I saw this one, this had a nautical theme to it, so I had to buy it to add to my little fetish with pirates and sailing ships and sailboats and all that. But let's take a look at this. So it came with, now not in the box, this came like sitting on top of the box within the package. So that's kind of interesting. This did not, you can kind of see this does not fit in the box, the manual. So a little weird. So a wipey towel, nice. A instruction manual. Mostly, looks like it's all in English, and this is for all their different models. So like, kind of check this out. Like, they have crazy models. OBLVLO. I'm going to say that a lot. Here's one that's very similar, this Dreamer series, but crazy stuff. So before I unbox this thing, I'll just mention this brand, again, French design, French headquarters, made in Hong Kong, as far as I could tell. It is their brands run from anywhere between, this one was $234 on AliExpress, but they run anywhere between $300, and I've seen them, mostly in as low as $100 and up to, God, there's like $2,500 ones. So kind of a full gambit of prices. Their sister brand, I believe, Reef Tiger. So whenever I see this brand out there, I always see Reef Tiger along with it. So I think that I found that kind of interesting. So you saw those watches. I mean, they have like, it kind of remind me of Zarek. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand. Like skeletonized watches, wandering hours, retrograde, double balance wheel, like double tourbillons, just weird. That was weird, wild stuff. Weird. Johnny Carson. So models. So this one was, let's get into it. Stop with the talking. The problem with this channel is the guy just talks so much, just on and on and on and on. I think this is just so rad. Look at, I have not worn this watch yet. I did unbox it because I had to get a look at it, but I have not worn it. So I don't know if we're going to run into problems like that last review I did, where I get some watches that are so uncomfortable, I gotta either sell them or return them or something. A lot of these I can't return because I buy them so long before, like, I even get to them, so I can't return them, and that stinks. But anywho, this one it's called the Creative Navigator model JM-SS. Let me hold the watch up so you can see it. JM-SS-YLY. I've also seen it advertised as the JM Sailing Collection and JM Sailing YLYL. Depending on what website you go to, you get different names for them. And kind of common with some of these, you know, if you want to call them Asian brands. But this is like a, you know, wandering hour, I guess I would call it. So you have the anchor points at your hours. This little hour here, a little pointer here points, this wheel turns as it's going around. And I'll get it going here. And you can see that little thing turns for your minutes. So pretty rad. And then the center, it's a pirate ship wheel. The navigator's wheel, that turns. Let me turn it back on here. As you can see, if I hold it real still, you can see that thing just barely turning around. So you don't have you have a running seconds, but it's just for looks. You don't have an actual, hey, do you even need it on this? This is so crazy. Who cares what seconds it is? So that kind of makes sense, I think. But when you pull the crown out, it does hack. But let's see if we can set the time. Right now it is 9:56. So let's get to the, so we're at the 9. And keep going, 9:56. Okay, there we go. That wasn't so hard. It kind of, it is a little confusing. I'd think you'd have to wear this for a day or so to get used to telling time on it. This is a nice heavy watch though. I was going to debate that this was stainless steel. Sometimes they mark these as stainless steel and they're really that alloy stuff, like a steel alloy, aluminum alloy, kind of weird lightweight junk. But this is definitely stainless steel. If it's the 316L, I mean, I guess we don't know, but so let's look at, so we got the models. Let's look at the specifications on this, and I'm going to do my own measurements because I found different measurements on different websites, so I don't trust what they say. So we're going 42 millimeter. I always like to get my crown in. 6.8, it's almost 7. Nice, pretty big crown. Lug to lug. 50. Now this is a big guy. And thickness with it does have a dome sapphire, thickness 13.4. So you can kind of see it there. That does dome up pretty good. Oh, bracelet size. Can we get in there and see? 22 millimeter bracelet. So that's cool. You can put you could dress this up pretty nice with a leather strap. But I think it looks good on this bracelet. So that's our measurements. Let's see here. Let's look at hang on, I'm going to peel off all this junk and then we will come back. Okay, we're back. Obviously, if you hate this style, this is not the watch for you. I totally am geeking out over the style with the anchor and all that. But that's just me with all my little junk here, all my little guys, pirate stuff. But I get it if you don't like that. This watch is really, I think this is great quality. I kind of looked at it here while I was unwrapping it. So it has push pin link. So not at the end of the world, there's your little arrows to see where to push them out. It looks like it does have a couple of half links right here. And then 2 full links on each side. It has a butterfly clasp. And engraved there on the clasp. Very cool. And this thing does lock together with a nice solid click. Speaking of click, I don't get to do a bezel click tickery. That kind of stinks, like bezel watches. But look at the back of this thing. Can we get in tight here to see this? Look at this rotor. That thing is neat. OBLVLO. So this case is all polished. Look like the chamfers, no, I mean all brushed, but the chamfers are polished, and this bezel is polished. And the bracelet goes pretty well with the case. I think it fits right. I'm not sure if the finish is off a little bit. Looks like the finish is the same. It's pretty close. Sometimes the finish on the links are not. But solid links, kind of a 3-link style. Does it have quick release? No quick release spring bars. This will be a little challenging to get off. Not too bad. So it's marketed as an enamel dial, a high grade, a blue enamel dial. And the movement, as far as I could tell, that's kind of amusing. The various typos, I think, on all these different websites. So one website said Moyota, M-O-Y-I-T-A, and then other websites had Miota, but most, said the 8 series automatic. So I don't have any way of checking that other than, I don't know if I could see past that rotor to see if there's any markings, but we'll take their word for it. Let us throw this up on the wrist and see if it's comfortable or not. So yeah, very comfortable. It's a really big bracelet. I can get a full finger in there. So I have a 7.5-inch wrist. So this should go up to 8.5, 9 inches. You shouldn't have a problem. I'm gonna need to size this. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I can already tell these, oyster style bracelets, usually they're pretty good as long as they don't have the sharp edges. Like that last video I did, that was a nightmare. This one doesn't feel sharp at all. These feel like they have an edge to them, but they're, smooth at the same time. They're not, this is not going to dig like that other one. So that's cool. These I'm not a huge fan of, only because if, sometimes it'll pop open. If your bracelet's down here, you pop and it pushes on these two things. I don't know why I'm pointing that out, because I think I'm a know-it-all. God, it was so annoying. All right, time graphar next. Time graphar. So a little noisy. I'm not sure. So the beat rate is good. It's a 3 hertz movement. The beat error, that's a little interesting, and I don't know why they get real noisy like this. So that line going across the bottom, that should be like just solid, maybe going up or down a little bit, but when it's like that, I forget if that has to do with like the pallet fork or something like that, where it's going back and forth and it is, I forget why that happens. But I don't know if this is something to be worried about. I'm going to send a video of this to the manufacturer and see what they say. How about that? Maybe I can put, once I get information, I'll update the description. But interesting results here. Okay, loom. It looks like a BGW9. Very cool. I don't know how useful this is going to be or how long it's going to last, but it is kind of neat the way they did it. And they loomed that wheel for the minutes. So, if it's sitting like, what if it's sitting like this on your desk at night and you look over, it's like, oh shit, it's midnight. No, it's hard to tell. So, well, it's loom. It's loomed. Trash or treasure? Come on, guys. I'm going to say treasure on this one. This thing it even looks like treasure. It's pointing at the treasure. I gotta have this. This is rad. I'm going to wear this thing a lot, I have a feeling. And I think I might wear it on the bracelet. It's super, very comfortable. I took out one link, is all I had to take out for 7.5-inch wrist. I only had to take out one full link. Took one out from this side. So, the clasp was kind of a little more towards me this way. So, yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. This one also comes in gold with like a black dial, and then another silver case with a black dial. They come in a few different colors. But if you could pick these up for around $250, I think that's a good deal. Kind of even looks like an ocean when you get reflections on it. It looks like water. Man, I really like this. Birds, what do you think? This makes me want to go on a cruise or something. Or plunder the Caribbean. There you go. There you go. All right, let's head over to the loot portion of our video. Loot. So for loot today, I am going to talk about how to remove a link from a bracelet. I'm not going to do it on camera because that's going to take me forever. Well, and it's hard for me to I'm not good enough with the camera work yet really to do it. But the way I remove, now I'm talking about pins. So link pins, how to remove those. And you know it's a pin by if it has a little arrow. That's how you know, because sometimes these pins will look like screws. So if you look close at the end, it has a little slot. So the pin is split. So one end is split and it looks like a screw. I don't know how many times I've taken a screwdriver and I'm like, like trying to unscrew this pin. And then I look, eventually I'm like, oh, there's an arrow right there. So the arrow tells you which way to pop the pin out. So the only way to do it, in my opinion, is you get yourself one of these gadgets. You do not use a push thing with the screw thing. Did I have one? I think I have this for like an emergency. Let me destroy my desk. I'm sorry, my deck. This thing, where you put the link, you put it in there and you screw this down and it pushes the pin out. This thing pushes the pin out. No, this is the best way to do it. And all you do is you stick this in. So you figure out which way the arrows point. So say the arrows, so these are pointing that way. So they want the pin to go out that way, right? So you put this in here and you line up the little pin with the hole. See, there's like a hole in the bottom of this thing. And I don't know the name of it. I'll put a link to it in the description. And you set it like that. Let's see if I can you guys can kind of see. And you put your thing, like I'm trying to do it. You put your thing in here, and then you get yourself a little ball peen hammer, or I like these little hammers, and you just tap it out. Does not scratch the bracelet at all. You put it back in, and then you just tap it in. You just tap it in. Just tap it. Just tap it. Tap. And use a plastic part. The plastic one. If you've got a rubber one, like hard rubber, that's even better. I mean, I should get one of those because the hard rubber, it won't scratch or mar this, the metal. So, tips on bracelet adjustment. Like, gosh, I mean, you get tips on bracelet adjustment here, and you get to watch, like, my desk get all messed up. And then I got to put this all back, and this goes over here, and then this, put this here, 40 and 20 podcast. And then, you put the hammer back in the thing over here. And then you get your birds. Well, one's going to bite you, so one's not going to come and be on camera. But the other one's going to say, hi. And we're going to say goodbye, Kai, right? We're going to say, see ya. Don't run away. Oh, come on, come back. At least hang out, just for, a few seconds. Just a few seconds. Just hang out. Look around. Here, what about this little guy? Look. Want to see it? It's a little rubber ducky with a beanie, like Daddy. I know, I'm like Daddy. Like the captain. Yeah, that sounds better. There's a beanie, like, the captain wears sometimes when he doesn't have his big hat with the feathers. All right. All right, guys, feed the birds, tuppence a bag. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, and follow Aaron's Watches on Instagram. I never, ever say that. Never been on live television before. I never, ever say follow Aaron's Watches. I'll pretend I'll put it here and then I'll go like this, like they do on the news. I don't watch the news. All right, apparently we're leaving. Apparently. Hey guys, a little bonus footage. This watch I reviewed a couple episodes ago, and I commented that this brand Enaton really interested me, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on AliExpress. They'd taken all their models off. And now we know why. here, check this out. Got this message from them. We are sorry for the display being unavailable because of the recent tariff adjustment. In order to avoid the loss caused by the tariff problem on the customer side, we temporarily blocked the United States. And when the tariff policy is stable, we will deliver goods to the United States normally. We are very sorry for this, and thank you very much for your understanding and waiting. So very nice that they sent me that message through AliExpress. You don't ever hear from these companies. They could care less. But these guys, hey, I give an attaboy. And I am very interested in this brand, even though they are, homage watches. But I don't care. As long as they're not, total duplicates or, super clones and all that. I don't deal in any of that kind of stuff. But I like the homage. I don't care. They're a good price. And, I have Rolex and Omega and all, I have expensive watches too. But I still like these. I think there's a place for them. And somebody commented in that Enaton video about people that are poor that can't afford the real thing, and you shouldn't buy one. Homage watches are crap, and it's for people that can't afford the real thing. And that really irritated me. And hey, it's a troll, whatever, but not true. Not true at all, and that's a whole conversation for another time. But there definitely is a place for homage watches in this world. So that's all I have to say about that. All right, guys, see ya.